On my quest to fill this channel with more content, I've decided to film a video doing basically a breakdown of my Hello Hoshi Rin cosplay, which is also my secret cosplay, which I revealed back in July. I just got back from Anime Magic, and I leave for college tomorrow. Well, I go back to college tomorrow, and what a better way to put off packing than to record a video! Shameless free promotion. If you haven't been to Anime Magic, it was its first year this year. And it's a really cute con. It's really small because it was its first year, but I really hope it grows and it gets bigger because the staff is really nice. You can tell they really care about everyone just having a good time. So it's in Schaumburg, Illinois, so if you live in the area, maybe go check it out next year. It's about in the middle of August. So I guess the best way to start this video is the question, why Rin? Why was she my secret cosplay? Well, in the world of My Hero Academia and Haikyuu and just all the big phases that I have, not really phases, I still love both those shows very much, and I'm still waiting for more seasons, but in the time that I do all those cosplays, I hardly ever do Love Live. I hardly ever talk about Love Live, at least not on my actual page. I talk about it all the time on my story, I think, but you never see me cosplay it. And why is that? Because like I said, even though I've done so many Haikyuu cosplays, so many My Hero Academia cosplays, even with Marvel, which part of the reason I even started cosplaying in the first place, Love Live is the franchise I've put the most time and money and effort into. I have 3 accounts, 3 different Love Live School Idol Festival accounts that I go into on the daily. You can't see them, but I have oogles and boogles of figures over there. I love all my wives. I have so much of their music downloaded on my phone. So the question is, if I'm so invested in this franchise, how come I hardly ever cosplay from it? Even though I just did Marinumi this past weekend and she looks great. And if Rin Hoshizora is my favorite anime character of all time, then how come it took me so long to cosplay her? Will I ever answer these rhetorical questions? Yes, I will. Part of the reason I started cosplaying in the first place is because you can have more liberty with creating your own designs, and when you gender bend a character, they don't have a canon body type. Not that you need to match that character's body type to cosplay them, because you can cosplay whoever you want. But I just like the idea is that no one could go up to you and be like, "You're too tall to be Bakugo," because Bakugo's 5'7" and my shoes make me 6 feet tall. Not that really other people's opinions was my issue with doing canon female cosplays. It was just I felt more comfortable knowing that there was less of a standard that needed to be reached. But as I slowly become more comfortable with myself, I am slowly branching into franchises that I really love to do and characters I really want to do, and that includes Love Live. Again, part of the reason I started doing femme cosplays is because there are no tiny anime girls in femme cosplays. I mean, sure, maybe, there are, but there's less of them. And as someone who's 5'9" and relatively toned, I felt comfort in knowing I could fit these body types better than tiny anime girl body types. And when it comes to a franchise like Love Live, it's pretty much only tiny anime girl body types. Again, not saying that you need to match a body type to cosplay a character, but for my personal preference, I didn't feel comfortable doing it. And so I guess the main reason is I wanted to do Rin justice, and I wanted to wait until I had the confidence to do that. When I first started playing the Love Live game, you can pick a starter girl character, and I picked Ellie because, oh my god, she's blonde, like me, wow. But then as I watched the anime, I really started to be drawn to Rin's character, and I really related to her struggles, and she just slowly became my favorite because of how much I identified with her. And it's because this character is held so dearly to my heart that I wanted to make sure I didn't cosplay her until I was ready. There's so many times I'd been looking through Rin outfits, just thinking maybe I'll do this one, maybe I'll do this one, before I even had the idea to do Hello Hoshi Rin. What I knew for sure is I really wanted her to have sleeves, because my arms make me look really stacked, and again, doesn't really fit that tiny anime girl stereotype, body type, whatever. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Your body type does not determine who you cosplay, but in my case, this is how I felt more comfortable. So just looking at Hello Hoshi Rin's design, it was something I knew I was really capable of and I could still add extra details into because it's something I really want to branch into, is just adding extra little details. Because a lot of my favorite creators or cosplayers, that's something that they do. They just go above and beyond, and that's something I really admire. So now we'll begin the cosplay breakdown, and we're going to go from head to toe. So starting with her hat, it's nothing too fancy, but she has this tiny hat that she wears on top of her head, and I want to make sure it wasn't too big, wasn't too small. I'm still not sure if I'm satisfied with the size of this one because it like kind of narrows at the top instead of just stays one like static like shape throughout. But so this actually came with a black ribbon tied around it and some feathers sticking off of it, but I ripped the feathers off, and I think there's also like a tiny veil. I ripped that off too, and then I put a red ribbon around it and I glued some gems to it. Gems that I actually got for her collar and shoes, and I'll be showing you those soon. So moving on to the wig. This wig actually used to be a lot longer. Imagine Black Widow from Avengers 2012 is about that. So I think this is one of the many things that threw people off, is that whenever people were like asking about the wig, and again this was a secret cosplay so I didn't want to give too much up, but I'll kind of go into hints that I gave later, even though you're gonna not think they were hints at all. But so for the wig, the thing that threw people off the most is that I said I needed a lace front, and so people who were like expecting me to do Rin for a while because they knew how much I loved her, this kind of threw them off because they're like, well, Rin always has that one middle piece right there, and I did that version on Sunday of Midwest. But in very few cards does Rin actually have her hair pulled back, so that was one thing that threw them off. But I also got this small set of bows that were white, and I painted this one to be green, and then I added little gemstones to it because again I want to be extra. We're working into that. Okay, next up is the shirt, and if you know me, you know I love to repurpose things, and I love Goodwill, and Goodwill is great for repurposing things. So obviously, like, I wore her to a con, and I haven't done any fixing of her from wear and tear, so she might be a little run down looking, but you know, she's fine for the most part. So my favorite parts of this shirt are the material of the collar and these cuffs, and then also this middle section right here. This actually has to be my favorite part of the cosplay because it's the first time like I looked at this and I'm like, oh my god, it went so above and beyond and it looks so extra and I love it. But if we look at the collar here, I put on all these rhinestones, and I think these weren't hot glue. I think these just had the adhesive on the back, and the hanger falls through the shirt. But also I decided to sew a strand of rhinestones inside, which is the same strand that I use on the cuffs. Just like that. And there's no sparkles on the cuffs or on the inside of the collar in the design, but I wanted to do that. And if you look here, there's also no sparkles on this part of her shirt. That's another thing I wanted to add. So if you look at that, you'll see, so I hot glued this strand on. Well, first I sewed all these ruffles on, and then I hot glued this strand of gemstones on. And then these are also self-adhesive stones that I put on her ruffles. And then this shirt, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's actually kind of reflective. It's another thing I found at Goodwill, and I thought having a shiny material would be really good for her. This is like the first cosplay I actually kind of cared more about kind of like what materials I have. Not materials, more like fabric, texture. I think that's the word. These are both from a blazer that I got from Goodwill. I get so many blazers from Goodwill, usually for Lance jackets. Yeah, it's more of like a velvety texture, which is kind of like, you know, fancy and really good for a design such as this. So that's why I went with that. And now I'll be moving on to her earrings. So here are her earrings. They're not that fancy. They're something that I got from Claire's, and I got them when I was with friends who I did not tell who my secret cosplay was. And I just told them I'd always wanted hoops, and that's why I got them. I got them for cosplay. Don't get it twisted. But also, hoops are powerful. It was a good decision. So, the suspenders I got from Amazon. And they're just normal suspenders, but I sewed this material on them, and it looks kind of wonky, but then when you... Wow. Okay, I can't do it right now for some reason. But when you stretch it out, it looks pretty normal. I was kind of hesitant about sewing these on there because I had a different idea. I was going to like attach rhinestones, but it really wasn't working out because this is a stretch material. But I'm really glad I ended up adding this on there because it really ties it all together, because the shirt itself is so sparkly, and just having the suspenders also be sparkly really kind of finishes the look. Oh, there it is. See, it's all bent up and then you're like, woo, 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 woo. So my high-waisted skirt I can't currently find, but it looks like this. And that and these really sparkly tights were both on my wish list for Christmas. I plan to use them for Femme Victor, and that's what I told people, but honestly, it was also for this cosplay. I also posted pictures of me wearing these secret cosplay items for New Year's. Now back to me repurposing things. I really like what I've done with these shoes because they used to be these gray flats, and I'll show a picture right here. So I took some red paint and I put some red sparkly paint over them, and then I also glued some rhinestones to it. And in the card, she only has just like these normal red heels, but one, can't walk in heels, and these are more comfortable, and then these I just made them all sparkly. Okay, now that I've broken down the entire cosplay, I will get into more fun facts about it. So why did I reveal it with a video like that one you saw at the beginning? Back in Anime Midwest 2018, I think it was, I revealed my Hero Suit Bakugo with a video, and it got really good responses. And if you know me at all, I really like incorporating cosplay and video work. So the Hello Hoshi Rin video was pretty simple, but I kind of had it planned out for a while. I wanted to show the details of the outfit at the beginning. It's kind of like a close-up, and then suddenly like have me being like, oh my god, that's Allison, I didn't realize it. Even though, you know, it's on my page. So the dance. I tried to learn the dance like a while ago, but I get dizzy really easily, and she spins a lot in the dance. So that's why we have this and me just moving my hands around a lot and turning in circles. But I figured it would only make sense to have it be a vaguely dancing video because that's what idols do. Okay, now what hints had I given you that this was the cosplay that I was gonna do? So back when I started my coffee tiers for this secret cosplay, I made all the posts yellow, which is something I like hadn't done before. And I know what you're thinking, like, Alison, how are you supposed to know that yellow was like for Rin? I mean, yellow is Rin's color, but obviously that isn't a dead giveaway, and none of these hints are gonna be dead giveaways, okay? It's just gonna be like little things where you're just gonna be like, oh, wow. And then also some of the things are just for specific people, so sorry about that. So with the tiers, sometimes when someone would donate and I knew that those people communicate a lot and they might be in cahoots because one of the tiers is to you donate a coffee and I show you one of the items I need for the cosplay. I never show the wig because that was a dead giveaway usually. And also if those, again, like I was saying, if two people talk a lot, like Jasmine and Michaela, I showed them the same items, so I know they couldn't share each other's items to try to figure it out. Yeah, I showed people like, oh, this is a skirt I need, or like, oh, these are the leggings I need, like, oh, I need these rhinestones, oh, I need these suspenders. I never really showed anything like too obvious, or oh, I need the hat. So, if you guys know the idol group Idolized Me, or any, whatever, they're a great idol group. They're focused in New England, and they're Rin, which is Mumix, a good friend of mine. We met back in Boston about last March, I think it was, and I wanted to give them a gift for coming to see me at the track meet and just for meeting me in general. So I gave them a drawing, and the drawing was of Hello Hoshi Rin, and there's a really specific reason I drew that outfit of Rin. It wasn't just because we're both Rin fans, it was because that was the cosplay I was doing, and I wanted to tell them so bad because they cosplay Rin, but I just I couldn't. I wanted to keep it a secret, so that is what I did. Again, that one's more like individualistic, but Ev, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Another one of the hints I said earlier was how at New Year's I wore the tights and the skirt. But other than that, I believe that's all the hints. So who knew about my secret cosplay before I revealed it? Because there's gotta be someone who knew about it, right? And you're right, but not because I wanted them to. So back in like January-ish, I think, Taya Spitfire Cosplay, she got me a late Christmas gift, and it was a Rin wig, because she's wanted me to cosplay Rin for the longest time. And I messaged her, and I'm like, here's why I can't tell anyone about your Christmas gift. But that wig is the wig I ended up using for Rin on Sunday. Two other people that knew about my Rin cosplay are Abby, Ipathea, and Vess, Horizon Prospects, because I was really worried about styling this wig, and I wanted to make sure it looked good. So Abby gave me some tips, and then Vess pretty much styled the entire back of it. I really appreciate their help, so thank you both of you. But they didn't find out until about a month before the con, so I kept the secret for a pretty long time. So I guess my overall review of this cosplay is I really like the work I put into it. I really like the shirt especially. I love all the extra details I added. My one complaint is I don't really like how I look in the wig. It's not an issue with how the wig is styled because Abby and Vess did a great job. It's just compared to having the hair pulled back and compared to having the Sunday look of the bangs in front of the face, I felt a lot more confident with having the bangs in front of the face. But it's one of those cosplays where if I didn't have the hair pulled back when that is specifically how it looks in the card, I wouldn't have been satisfied. In fact, my Sunday Rin fan Rin look is one of my favorite looks I've ever done. It was super comfy and I felt really cute in it, and I won't be surprised if I bring it back in the future. So that about wraps it up for this video, but none of this would have been possible without the help of my Ko-fi supporters. So that includes, sorry if I butcher your usernames, Maru Lili, Cuddlefish Cosplay, Sav-Senpai, Michaela KM, Sunny Epsel, who does photography, and Disenchanted Cosplay. Also, another special thanks to Akiotog, or Hannah, who took all of my Hello Hoshi Rin pictures, and they all turned out really nice, and I'm really grateful for her skill, and you should really consider booking her if you live in the Midwest area, and I'll link her in the description. If you like this video and you want to see me do more cosplay breakdowns, make sure you give me a thumbs up, or tell me in the description who you want to see next. Don't suggest cosplays such as Mount Lady, because that's basically just a bodysuit, mask, horns, and car shoe. And that's not a lot to go through. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to packing because I need to go back to Iowa. And I also need to edit this, and then my basement tour video, and then also my Seahawk music video. So, thank you for watching this. Bye! Oh, freak, my mom called me. John Cena followed me back. I just got followed by John Cena. I just got followed by John Cena. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. What is this? John Cena just followed me. What is this? What? If you don't follow John Cena on Twitter, he just posts like really motivational things, and I love it. He follows me.